Are we recording? Yes, we are recording. So I am so thrilled to be talking to Angela Williams from the Hope for Fertility Foundation. Have I got that right, Angela?
Yes, that is correct.
Amazing, amazing. Now, I need for you to tell me about your incredible organization, because what you do is truly incredible.
Oh,
Tell
well, thank
everyone
you.
what you do. Tell everyone.
So we're based in the U.S. and we give grants to couples who are struggling with infertility. It's a national grant, so anywhere in the U.S. and we give grants up to $5,000 to couples who need a little extra financial help, a little extra hope as they're going through the infertility process.
You are angels. You are truly, truly angels.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, like, how long has the organization been around?
So the organization was started in 2016, and it was started by a couple named Chase and Teddy Palmer. They were going through infertility treatments, and they decided to start this foundation to help others through the financial process of infertility treatments too. So that was in 2016, and then I heard of them a few years later and hopped in and was like, I want to help. And they handed the reins over to me last July. So we've kept it going. And
did you say their names are Chase and Teddy?
yes.
I mean, you couldn't get two better names. Chase and Teddy, first of all, what
Right.
wonderful names. So you say you'd heard about them. Had you been through your own journey then?
Yes. So I have 4 children. I have an 8-year-old, 2 5-year-olds, and a 2-year-old. And all of them have been through infertility treatments.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I kind of came out the other side of infertility and was like, I need to help give back somehow, because this was such an emotional journey for me, and I know it's such an emotional journey for other couples too. And I was just like, I have my family, how can I help those who are still going through this? Because it was I was just so passionate about everyone getting a baby if they want a baby. Like it just tears at your heartstrings when you hear that something that they're trying for and they want so badly is they can't get yet. So I was like, how can we do this? So I kind of searched around with who we could help and how we could do it. And I found Hope for Fertility, and they kind of were just like, yes, come help with whatever. So I kind of just got thrown in the mix. I helped with the grants process and a couple of other things, and just kind of fell in love with the foundation and how it gives back. So,
oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, thank you for doing what you do. And it happens quite often that women and men who have been through a fertility journey, and then become parents, they want to give back.
Yes.
That's what I did. That's why IVF Babble exists, because I went through my journey and I thought, I cannot not help other people. So
Exactly.
what you're doing is amazing.
And then there's 4 other women on the board, and they have all gone through infertility or are currently going through it themselves right now. So they did the same thing. It was just like, how can we help? And they just jumped in, and I kind of roped them into joining the cause in a more full-time volunteer aspect.
You must get, though, thousands and thousands of applications from people every day.
Well, not quite that many. It's tricky because our organization, we take grants. Our grant window is open from January 1st until May 1st. And it's tricky because it's so hard infertility is such an ongoing process. Mm-hmm. So people are already going through infertility, or they can't wait that long for grants. And like every chunk of time is like, once you're ready, you just go for it.
Yes.
And so it's hard to kind of some of those couples to apply for the grant because of our time window. Mm-hmm. The goal is to do a rolling grant system where we can just help whoever we can. We're still small. We've only been around for about 5 years. But we're growing, and we're hoping that one day we'll be able to do that and maybe kind of incorporate some more options. Mm-hmm. In the future, it's just hard when we just have that one window. But
yeah.
we do try to help as many as we can.
Yeah. Even helping, but even if you only helped one couple a year, that is still incredible, you know, just, you know, the fact that you're doing something is everything.
Yeah, last year we were able to help 14 couples,
Oh,
and then we gave out, so it was $58,000 in grants. And this year we're hoping, I think we think we're going to be able to double it.
wow.
So
How do you fundraise, don't you? So you rely on donations, is that right?
yeah, we completely rely on donations, which is why it's tricky to see how many we can get within the year and like how many we're going to have. We just try to gather as much money as possible for these within the year, and then we try to give out as much money as possible at the end.
So it's you and your small team
Yeah,
going
it's
to
me
raise awareness.
and 4 other women. And then we do have like a couple of other volunteers who are just like, how can we help? How can we help? And they've helped here and there too. But it's really just the 5 of us with help from a few others, and we just try to help as much as possible. We're all volunteer. We don't take any money. We give all of it back to couples. We just are so passionate about helping people build families. We just
Wow.
want to help as much as we can.
Do you have any like annual fundraising events?
We usually have one in October, and then our new fundraiser woman is also through one in April too. It's been tricky with the whole COVID situation. But in October, we did a Fitness for Fertility where we had different events across the United States, and then also through Zoom. So you could jump in and do a Zoom fitness class. So we did that. And then in April, we did some master classes. So we had someone come and talk about self-defense. We had like an organizational one. We had a dance class, a couple of others, and just try to get people involved because it's also a national thing. We aren't doing big group things, yet. So that's how we've improvised this year.
Yes. Oh, you've got to let us like join in and help you raise some awareness.
We're always like, yes, please help us out.
Yeah, you just use IVF Babble as another platform to just raise awareness for your organization.
Oh, we would love to.
Yeah. Yes. Use us. And so how, I mean, the question, the hard question is, how do you choose a couple? Because that must be a really tough thing when you've got everyone's needs are exactly as important. How do you?
Yes, it is so tough. We have a grant committee this year. It's made up of 9, so 9 women are on the grant committee. We read each application and we look at each of their pieces, and we look at a lot of different things. Sometimes we look at financials, we look at how long they've been trying, then we look at how many kids they have, we look at just their story in general, like what have they been through. We really just want to give hope back to couples, because so many times during the infertility process, people just are like, I've given up hope. And we just want to here's just a little bit more, just like a little bit more hope. So it really is just, it's so tricky. And we just some of them are, we're just connect with them automatically. And we're like, this couple. And then some are, we look at different aspects, and it's so great to have the different committee because each thing sticks out to someone else, and then they talk about it and they say this thing and this thing, and we're like, oh yes, didn't realize that, but yes, this person. There was one 2 years ago where I had kind of been like, I don't think that they are really that, they seemed kind of just like distant to me. And this other woman on the grant committee came up and she was like, I think they don't seem distant, they seem just like this, there's no chance that we are going to do this.
Stripped of
all hope. And I hadn't thought about that before. And I was like, okay. And we let them know that they got a grant, and they just were like, it just was so heartbreaking because they were just like, this was never going to happen. This was our only chance. And I was like, I'm so grateful for my team and the people that are helping, because they saw something that I didn't, and they were able to have a baby boy last year, I think. And they were just the sweetest. And I'm just so grateful that there's so many different views and so many different things that stick out. So it's not just, it's tricky, but I really think that each of these women have a connection and can kind of figure out who we need to get one to. Not that we wouldn't want to give it to more if we could, because we would totally give it to our whole list of applicants if we had the funds to do that.
Of course, it's so hard. But like I said, just helping just a few is something. We at IVF Babble, we don't give grants, but at the moment we're giving out free IVFs, but it's done purely on a hat pulling out of a name, really. It's just the way that we're doing things at the moment. But eventually we would love to be able to give out grants, but like you said, the fundraising is tough, isn't it?
It is tough. It is really tough. And there's so many, it's I feel like it's especially hard in this situation because those that have these connections to infertility are already stripped of a lot of the funds that they would have because they're going through it, or so it's tricky. But there've been so many people who have had family members. It's a lot of it is like they have family members or friends who've gone through it and they've seen how hard it is, and then they give funds to us to help others too.
Oh my goodness.
It's been such a wonderful thing to see that happening.
What's so cruel is, a man and a woman, wanting to have a child. It's cruel enough when infertility strikes you, right? But to then not even be able to afford the treatment that could help you get to parenthood is like a double blow.
Double whammy. It totally is.
Yeah. So, finance is a barrier, isn't it? For so many people, it's just so cruel. They have in the UK, we have this thing called the postcode lottery. So some areas will give out free IVFs, but the government are slashing it and putting rules and saying, if you're married to somebody who already has a child with a previous partner, that woman, the one that's applying for the IVF, won't get it. She will not get funding. So that woman then cannot have fertility treatment because her husband has a child with
already.
It's so cruel, and IVF is expensive.
So expensive.
It's so expensive. And we hear stories from couples who have remortgaged their homes, who got married, had the dream, and then their entire marriage has been about trying to conceive, while stacking up debt. So which is why
everything
which is why foundations like yours are just, a godsend, truly.
Thank you. We really do want to just help people.
So for anyone watching our chat now, Angela, what can people do? Where can they go? Where can they donate? How can they help fundraise?
So you can go to our website at www.hopeforfertility.org. There's a big donate button right at the top. You can donate there. And then for the grant portion of things, our window for grant application is closed on May 1st. Okay. But it will open again in January.
Okay. And you say it's just for US citizens, is that right?
It's just for US citizens. And
I say that's still a lot of people.
It is a lot of people. We would like to help as many as possible. It just, we're still small, but maybe one day we can grow even bigger. Yeah.
And you're going to be at the American Fertility Online Expo, aren't you?
Yes, we're on the American Fertility Online Expo, May 22nd. Is that right?
Yeah, May 22nd.
May 22nd.
Yeah.
Yes, so we'll be there.
So people can get in touch with you via that as well, can't they?
Yes, they definitely can do that as well.
And so, look, I'm going to leave you now, but like I said, please use IVF Babble to promote your wonderful organization, because
we will definitely be in touch.
Yeah, because the world needs more people like you and your organization.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right, darling. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
All right. Thank you.